Welcome to Real Flix Reviews. We're like a book club for people who hate reading. This week we're doing the movie Warlock, made in 1989, and we bring you movie news at the end of the program. This week it's Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, hello, and the man that can't stand that little box, Ryan Preston. This week we're doing the movie Warlock, and this week was James's pick, so I think I'm going to let him say what this movie's about.
So this is one of those classic, I would say classic horror movie. And even though it really can't be considered that, but you know, a warlock basically is bound to get killed by a bunch of, priests, and he flees to the 20th century from the 17th century and goes on a rampage for Satan.
Isn't it the 15th century?
That says 17th century right here.
Oh, that's right.
So it'd be 1600 something.
0 to 100 is the first century.
You're right.
Yeah. So 1600, so 17th century, and then
it was like 1680 something or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. No, it was later than that because I think it was. He said it was like what, 300, close to 300 years or something.
Yeah, they said it was
that it passed.
Yeah, they said it was 300 something.
So anyway,
and this movie took place in the 80s, so I'm pretty sure it was in the 80s and the 1600s.
No, I think they said it was 90 something. Didn't they say it was like 93?
Whatever.
It was like 4 years before the year that the movie came out. I know it's stupid, but well, the interesting thing is that IMDb, I'm not sure they're correct on this. It says that Warlock was made in 1989 and the release date was January 11, 1991. Now, is it me or is that just a random? Well,
it could be
release date.
It could be a couple of things. I know with some movies in the 80s, they had a problem getting the rights and distribution, so it could have taken a while after it was in the can to actually get distributed.
That is true. We're in a digitalized society nowadays, so it could be true. I mean,
it used to take a couple of years for some reason to get certain movies on VHS. So,
So anyway, there's a reason why I picked this one. And I kind of feel like I'm got to defend myself here.
Okay, well, before you defend yourself, do you mind if I give you something to defend?
Oh, I know exactly what I got to defend
and the
here.
challenge is down. I say let Ryan go first.
You know what? I'm going to go along with you both here, and I'll let Ryan give me something to rebuttal here.
Have at thee.
Okay.
Yeah, have at thee, sir.
Thanks. Like fucking 10 years, okay, and I was forced through this bullshit to watch it again. Between the fucking eyeballs on the hand, actually there was a couple of things that goddamn, the crystals, for Christ's sake, the strange fucking voodoo curse, the fireball fish hook might have been one of my favorite parts. But holy shit, man! The only thing that really that really surprised me about what I was expecting was the score wasn't really 80s. It actually kind of took it in a real ethereal direction, which was not 80s. So it didn't give that real fucking dated feel to it. But damn, the crappy accents, the terrible acting, some of the supporting cast was the best acting in the movie. But holy shit! And this seemed like a Catholic problem. I mean, if I'm going to start picking apart the actual plot of the movie, this was strictly like a Catholic thing. Everybody, was all worried about people.
It didn't make you feel like a Protestant.
Yeah, I like bringing the Mennonite into it though. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Well, the funniest thing about the accents is one of the guys is English, and the other guy's from Swaziland, Africa.
Yeah.
Right.
So one of those accents was actually legitimate.
Yeah. Which once because I was going to say that, and once I looked it up, going, that's got to be his real accent.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. So you got more, right? I'm sure you got more. Continue on.
Keep going.
I mean, well, let's see. I mean, just the general plot of it was fucking ridiculous. I mean, the whole let's find the lost pages of the Devil's Bible so we can find out what God.
The Grand Grimoire.
The world.
Yeah, I thought that was supposed to be like in the Necronomicon or whatever, according to.
Well,
Evil Dead.
They said it goes by a bunch of different names, so that's kind of where they were covering it. Yeah, they were just trying to cover their bases by saying it goes by a bunch of different names. Okay, come on, I'm waiting.
Let's see. The one decent joke in the movie was the you can't punt on the first down. Not even Tampa does that. That was fun.
That was good.
Wow, that's a joke with no context.
Now, James, you're gonna understand this reference, and maybe not a lot of other people will, but all the effects just started reminding me of Cool World.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I will completely give you that one. The phantom fire stuff that was coming off his hands.
Right.
Yeah, that was
in the ball in Labyrinth.
Yeah.
So, after Ryan's done, I was wondering if I could go. So let's say you defend two people.
I'll defend both of you. Come on.
Are you done, Ryan?
The GPS gyroscope in the fucking car. Anyway, go
ahead. Yeah. That was kind of cool.
So is that it? Or do you have more?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm just gonna get angry.
Okay. Here. So my first this is the first thing I said on it is, you know, for my notes was, even for a movie made in the 80s, it looks like the 80s threw up in it. From the pastel colors to the frilly stuff she was wearing to the earrings to the hair. I mean, this movie couldn't be more 80s if they tried. I mean, the only thing they're missing is a really, really bad soundtrack.
Well, that's what. Okay,
right.
go.
Come on, even the Ninja Turtles movies was like, damn. And I agree with Ryan. I've seen better acting in infomercials. You know, like the Ron Popeil. It slices, it dices. I mean, the acting in this, the acting in this. Yeah, I mean, the acting was as thin as 3-2 beer, so I'm not quite sure how it could get any worse.
You need to come up with another one besides 3-2 beer. We've heard that one like 8 times.
I like that one. The effects I thought were interesting because it looks like it has the cheesy hand-drawn on the film. I don't know how they actually made it, but I actually liked the effects. Like the flame effects, I have to say, just for being a child of the 80s, I still really dig some of the traditional effects.
I wasn't too into that one. That one kind of, like Ryan said, it was way too reminiscent of Cool World, and it almost looked like it was partially like rotoscoped in just that scene.
Well, that's what I mean. It probably was rotoscoped or hand-drawn. I mean, like the lightsabers in Star Wars. I enjoy bad effects, especially back then when that might have been, high end, cheap high end.
Well, it's fine when it plays with the story, when it's moving a thing along, like the old 50s things when they were doing these really shitty effects, the drawn on the actual cells of the film. You know, it played because they were trying to tell like kind of a sci-fi story. This was like, hey, look at these cool effects we can kind of do.
Exactly.
But not really.
Yeah, he's just like, ooh. Ah.
And the other thing,
like an exhibition of bullshit.
Yeah. And the other thing was, for being 300 years old, Redfern's coffin was in amazing shape. They actually had to pull the nails out of it. You know, it was just like, seriously.
And I don't know about you, but after 300 years, it's not like I was expecting to live longer than that. I'd be kind of interested in seeing my dead body.
Yeah.
I'd be like, wow, that's me fucking 200 some odd years after I'm dead, huh? That's nutty.
Ooh, those fingers come off like really crispy fries.
Wow.
Right.
And the other one, my other one was, it was just kind of this, even for the 80s, how is this supposed to be a horror movie? I mean, this is the same the same genre in the 80s that had, Friday the 13th, Critters. I mean,
the first one was a horror movie, but the subsequent ones became the Jason movies.
Yeah.
Everybody forget that Jason wasn't even in the first one.
So
the first Nightmare on Elm Street was considered to be somewhat of a serious movie, but then it got funny.
Yeah, it's like the Leprechaun movies. The first one with Warwick Davis was scary, kind of.
Right.
But I just...
And then it got to Back to the Hood, and you lost me, yeah.
Or In Space. It's always bad when they add In Space.
Right.
Thank you, Gremlins, as well.
And I have to say, I agree with Ryan. That metal GPS, I actually really wondered what it was in real life, but it's ridiculous. When the introduction, what is that? I can't do the accent, but it's a witch finder. It's it'll turn automatically when a witch is near. It's like, really? So the other signs don't count? Blue flames.
It's like the GPS when you're playing Crazy Taxi back in the day.
True. I can see that. So, let's see you defend yourself, boy.
All right. So, now I've been wanting to do...
Hold on. Let me get comfortable here.
Yeah, you're going to have to get comfortable here. Same with you audience members. You might want to sit down, grab yourself a beer, a couple shots. I don't care.
Come back in 5 minutes when he's done defending himself.
So, now I had a lot of choices here as to where I wanted to go with bad horror genre. Now, you guys are lucky I decided to just do Warlock instead of the Warlock series, because this is a series. This is not one. This is one of 3. And I like the second one a lot better than I like this one or the last one. Now, I decided that instead of doing Phantasm,
thank you, by the way,
the Gremlin series, the House series, which is also one done by the same director, Steve Miner.
With the Hellraiser?
No, House.
Oh,
House.
Oh, okay.
Ryan might know what I'm talking about.
I could smell a Hellraiser.
Now, this guy also directed Halloween H2O, Friday the 13th Part 2, Lake Placid.
God, I recognize his name.
He also did
Lake Placid?
Lake Placid. He also did Forever Young. Mel Gibson. That's actually a good one.
That's a random movie to throw in there.
Throw in with this thing.
Got to start somewhere.
So the guy's not a total tool, but now...
One movie, he's still a tool. He's just minus maybe a part.
Now, I also wanted to do a movie where there was a really bad main actor, too. And who else could I pick but Julian Sands?
Yeah.
So what my goal here by picking this movie was to just get into that bad horror genre that the 80s threw up and scored it all over the place.
Wow.
There's an ugly visual.
I meant out of the rear.
Still ugly visual. I don't care.
The 80s did this, and up until I'd say like 98, 99, they kept coming out with this, and now they're into this whole genre of coming out with
like Saws.
Saws. I wasn't going to throw in the Saws in there, but I was going to throw in some of the other ones where it's just like jump, loud noises, and a really fast cutscene.
Well, I mean, startling,
startling.
Nobody appreciates the slow burn. I just got into an argument with a girl the other day about this.
So, this is what this movie is.
There's Saw, and then they go Centipede, or the Human Centipede.
Oh, right.
I think there's
shock value.
Yeah,
that's more thriller than horror. Would you consider the Human Centipede thriller or horror?
Horror.
Horror thriller?
Yeah, horror. I mean, for damn sure. But for shock value, it's
yeah. Okay.
It's
I'll give you that.
How far can we take? Like a whatever.
Yeah. So, of course, this movie had bad acting. Of course, this movie had a storyline that just, I mean, there's absolutely no way to redeem yourself on a storyline like that.
Yeah, no.
But the point that I'm making here is that with picking a movie like this for our show is I think this is where we were trying to take the show. Get people to go out and see the stupid things that they normally wouldn't see, along with good things.
Well, see, what we've all done, what people have to understand is the three of us have seen pretty much so many good movies that we have to fill our time
with horrible, crappy movies, so we remember what the good movies and appreciate what the good movies are.
Right, exactly. You have to have the bad to have the good, and you have to know, how shitty something can get. And, these are the kinds of things, if I can actually kind of agree with you for a second, and this doesn't happen with this kind of thing often, but these are the kinds of things you like watching with other people. Like, let's get a couple of people together and throw this on a big screen and sit there and just laugh our ass off at how weird something could be.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And, I mean, now I will full on say, I mean, John has The Punisher. Ryan has Buffalo 66. I have the Warlock.
You should probably throw in Beastmaster on mine, too.
Yeah, Beastmaster. I could do a lot. I could do a lot on you that I'm not going to say. I'll just say the Punisher.
I was going to say, in my defense, I generally like bad movies because I find them a lot more entertaining. So
see, now the reason why I find this one so funny and why it's kind of a guilty pleasure because it's absolutely and utterly so ridiculous. The acting's horrible. I mean, you look at Redfern and you can't really help but laugh. I mean, when they say to the Warlock in the first 10, 15 minutes of this movie, we're going to burn you. No, I'm sorry. We're going to hang you, and then we're going to set you on fire
with a bag of cats.
I mean, how serious can you take this movie? And then Redfern goes around after skinning all those cats and wearing it through the whole movie.
The filmmakers fucking took it real seriously.
I know they did.
And I think that's where the entertainment value comes in. It for me is like, wow, look at how into this they were, man.
Oh, I know, and that's the funny thing. And then they actually got licensed to continue the series for 2 more movies. I have no idea how.
I think at that point they had to realize that people were watching it for a different reason than they were really hoping.
Yeah, so this is just one of those funny fantasy horror movies.
I think at some point people realize it's like an Uwe Boll movie where if you don't take it seriously, it's a great movie. But if you take it seriously, you're going to realize that the guy couldn't direct his way out of a wet paper bag if somebody showed him.
I don't know. Forever Young is a good movie.
Yes, but that's one movie out of...
The thing is, I mean,
I could go through his whole thing.
It was a well-done movie.
Yeah, I think it was, for me, Lake Placid was more of kind of this genre, where it was a funny horror movie.
It was a comedy, but it was meant to be a comedy.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
It was a really, really self-aware movie, but, I'm not going to start reviewing that one, but I was a fan.
So, I mean, this movie, I find it funny, not in the sense that, it was meant to be that way. It's just funny because, I mean, of the utter stupidity and just kind of like they took the lore of a warlock and just like mixed it up and chewed it up and spit it all out and came out with, oh yeah, we can nail this dude's feet.
I have to be surprised. I'm surprised they didn't mention anything with silver, considering the 80s of this movie. They were mixing around all sorts of lore.
I thought the iron finger and toe cuffs were pretty funny though. Those were kind of interesting.
I want one of those.
I don't quite get the point of that. I'll be completely honest.
Well, my thing was I jokingly said he can't do hand signs like that. I mean, you could still kind of do them because the finger cuffs weren't on all fingers; they were just on one.
Oh, true.
But he couldn't do finger and toes. I mean,
see what you're saying.
Type thing. But I think that's
imagine how debilitating it would be just to have your thumbs attached to your freaking big toes, man.
Well, that's what I thought was funny. It was like Redfern punches him, and he does this kind of like weird little flip thing
because he's tied to the wall.
Yeah, so I mean, he's still like together, like ah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
almost as good as the how he fizzles out as like a really dud firecracker at the end.
Yeah, and the thing, yeah, that was weird. It was kind of like it was a mix of. I mean, did you guys also get that feel of like it was Raiders of the Lost Ark type of thing that they were melting right there?
It almost more.
I had none of that feeling at all.
No, I meant like the
movie in my mind, and never the twain shall meet in any kind of fucking Venn diagram.
It had more of a Temple of Doom scene when they were lowering that dude in the flames look more than anything.
That sucks. So I can dig that.
Yeah,
I have a question here. What was your favorite scene? Any scene in the movie that made you laugh?
One of my favorite parts with that actual, we were just talking about the scene when he fizzles out as the firecracker. Like literally, like takes off like a firecracker. I love that. But then the part right after that, when he falls to the ground, just knowing how films are made, like you can just see them all sitting behind the camera, like okay, 3, 2, 1, drop it, and then they just drop this flaming dummy onto the ground, and just the way it hit the ground and the way it was just off screen, the way it just dropped, might have been one of the funniest things because it's probably this huge setup. Okay, light the dummy. Okay, ready? Drop it. Cut. Print. Good.
All right, so John.
My favorite scene was the scene with the nails, where he was walking barefoot, right? And they took the nail and they nailed him. The lady took the nail in her foot, and the guy's footprint hit it, and you hear off scene, did that for a little bit. Then he put the board up to his foot. Then she found a head imprint and went, dink. That right there, that whole scene was just hilarious to me. Just somehow... I know, that's a good idea. He's so evil that even the ground doesn't want him. It's the part that's hilarious.
And what about the awesome little torture thing where he's just like stabbing a nail into her?
Oh yeah, the revenge, yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, my favorite one was the part where he takes the weather vane and runningly like. And if you saw the part where his hand's like shaking,
it's like I'm calling the guy.
And then he finally like throws it and nails him. Like, well, what was he? He must have been 1,000 yards away, up
not that far,
50 feet in the air.
Yeah,
with the wrought iron.
Tags him.
They're probably about 100 yards out. I mean, that was a hell of an arc. And did you see how he hit him in the back?
Hold on. Let me finish this part. And then you see the part, and it's like he's coming down, and the guy's holding the line back there going, oh shit. Oh, okay, he's okay. Holding the line.
And by the way, I love how he drags that Redfern guy, drags that wrought iron weather vane everywhere, including on the airplane.
Oh, I love that.
That James and I, where we were watching that, I think we had to pause and laugh just because the fact you can't do that nowadays.
Well, John's like sitting there like, you can't get on the plane with that. I'm like, dude, they carried like shotguns on the plane at this time in the year, Right,
I mean, sure. Yeah, you could. I love watching movies, and just being like, that's pre 9/11.
Yeah, I thought that was just great that they like walk through. And I love the fact that she gives the lady the credit card and then waits until she looks away and then unplugs the machine. And she still gets the plane tickets. Now, audience members out there who probably were born around 95, what happened in that scene after that was the lady up there carbon copied that credit card. And then it took, 3 or 4 days for them to process that credit card,
if not longer,
and then get rejected. So that's why she got the plane ticket still. So I thought that was just fantastic.
So So Ryan, what is your score on this movie? Because I have to admit, I'm really curious on what you think.
This is a low 2. The only reason it's a 2 is because I did kind of enjoy watching just to like I said, with enough, behind the scenes sort of like knowledge and whatnot. It's knowing how they did some of this stuff and watching why they did it, and with some of the effects was kind of entertaining. So yeah, well, more entertaining than I thought. And then it didn't have the 80s score, which is a huge swing from a lot of other movies.
I was really hoping they were going to use Europe's Final Countdown somewhere in there.
I'm surprised they didn't in the credits, but we didn't really sit through the credits.
No, I don't believe I'm going to give this movie this score just because how bad it really is. I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Holy shit!
Oh my god!
But here's the reason. I gave it a 3 out of 5 just on the entertainment factor of me picking it apart, going, "You see the wires? Oh my god, they missed part of the brush right there. The makeup's bad. Look at the hair." I sat the whole time looking, "Oh my god, how do you miss that? How do you miss that in person?" Huh?
I said that's why I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 3 out of 5 just because the whole time I'm looking at it, trying not to laugh at some of the parts they just missed. Like the dummy, it just went tink, tink. I just the whole time it's. But I love bad movies. I'm a big fan of Masters of the Universe. I'm a big fan of Beastmaster. Those are some of my.
Masters of the Universe is one of my guilty pleasures too. Damn it.
So that's why I gave it a 3 out of 5. Just not how good this movie is. I think they accomplished what they wanted to, and for this movie, that's not saying much. I think right now I'm kind of scoring on a curve, a giant curve.
A really giant curve. Yeah. What's important to understand out there, kids, is without the camp factor of how weird some of the stuff was and like the wires and things like that, this would have been a 1 for me, and this would have been a 2 for John.
Oh, totally.
But with that stuff, it is a 3 and a 2.
So okay, here's my. This has been bugging me since you pointed this out on IMDb. Now, I don't know who wrote this.
Oh, no.
This should be removed. This is a goof from Warlock. Okay. There are a lot of goofs in Warlock. A lot. And this is the one you pick. Redfern's grave would not have appeared in present day, for he fell through the time warp with the Warlock. Therefore, he was still alive. Redfern travels back to his own time at the end of the film. In fact, the swirling vortex that appears around him after he kisses Cassandra dissipates over his gravestone. What the hell are you trying to say, person? Do you not have any concept of how time works?
Yeah, when you go back in time, then you grow old there and then die, and there's your fucking grave.
Thank you. It's that simple. You're an idiot. So you need to get on IMDb and remove that.
And I'm sincerely sorry for not knowing what I'm talking about to everybody who's ever looked at that page.
So now,
James and John, I submit that this guy, this is probably not his only error when it comes to this. This is probably one of many.
I'm sure. Okay, so anyway, now that's the type of thing that, I mean, the movie actually did have a few things right. That's one of them, that he could have a grave there, and he could possibly have taken the last little pages of the grimoire and tucked him in his little grave, his indestructible time not being destroyed grave.
Yeah.
And buried himself there at the right time to be at that exact place at that moment when he is in the future with Cassandra with a K.
Right.
Now, yes, I did that. For me, this movie this movie, Ryan is right. I think it took itself way too seriously for the effects, the graphics, the storyline, the acting, and everything. So for me, it's a 2. And the only reason why it's not a 1 for me is because I find all those stupid things in there amusing. And to me, that gives it a little bit of redeeming that I could watch this movie maybe about 2 more times without shooting myself in the face.
Yeah, you sat through all the Phantasm movies.
And get some enjoyment out of it. You
right,
know,
well,
so
there's always another couple of things to pick out when you watch it later, and it's one of those like, holy shit, you haven't seen Warlock? Sit down, I'm gonna make you watch this movie, and then you watch it with somebody kind of just looking at their face the whole time.
Exactly. So that's why this movie is not a 1 for me. It's a 2. And audience out there, trust me, I knew what I was doing when I picked this movie. This was not a mistake. This was actually in my movie list of movies, and you guys are just lucky I didn't pick the whole series.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, because if that was the case, Ryan and I were going to gang up and make you watch something.
I'm sure.
So wow. So what, do you have any movie news?
Yeah, I do.
Jeez. Thanks a lot, by the way.
Wait, what did I miss?
Kind of a palate cleanser, at least.
What did I miss? Did he just drink some of Butter's juice?
What?
South Park.
Yeah, I know. I got it.
So
I didn't see what happened. Okay, anyway, movie news. Now, we got a movie coming out January 10th that I'm actually really looking forward to called Hitchcock.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's pretty much... I don't think any of this stuff is... This whole little love story is anything but just Hollywood throwing it in there. But this is a love story between the influential filmmaker Alfred Hitchcock, who is actually one of my big favorite guys out there, and his wife Alma Reville during the filming of Psycho. So this is actually a really interesting thing. Now, I am actually really looking forward to Anthony Hopkins playing Alfred Hitchcock, because I like him.
Have you seen the trailer for the pictures for it?
Yeah, I have.
He looks dead on.
He does. He really does. So that is something I'm really looking forward to. Wait, where did it go?
And on a side note from that, I just want to say that on Netflix right now, on Watch Instantly, they have pretty much all of the old Alfred Hitchcock hours and specials and stuff.
Yeah.
Anybody hasn't seen any of those, go and watch them, dude. That's some good damn viewing.
Yeah, I've got them all stuck in there in my queue already to watch as I go. I don't really know this director very well. Do you, Ryan? I mean, he's only got 3 movies to his name in directing. One is My Dinner with Erev, and that's like 2013. And this one, which is getting released in 2013, in Anvil, The Story of Anvil, which was in 2008. I haven't seen any of these. So I'm not too familiar with this director, and pretty much the only other thing besides like the Big T's, which he wrote, Anvil and Henry's Crime, he hasn't really produced anything else either. So this is an unknown director.
Give these guys a chance for these kinds of things.
Yeah, so I'm going to give him a chance. I have no idea any of his, I haven't seen any of his stuff.
Wow.
So
April O'Neil, Judith Hogue is in this movie.
Yeah. Where did that go? What the heck just happened? Oh, I lost some of my other movies. Give me 1 second, guys. For some reason it disappeared. I had something else on here. So
wow.
Where did it go? There we go. Okay, the other one I want to discuss with you guys is Red Dawn.
Yeah. Anybody who's not looking forward to that movie, you're not a patriot. You hate this movie.
I don't know. That's I don't know.
Wow.
I was never, from the parts I've seen from the original, didn't dig the original, even though I'm a partial.
You've seen? You mean the 9 times, right? Like, that's what you meant to say, right?
I've never really wanted to see it.
Holy shit, I've seen that movie. Like, oh, man.
I've seen this.
Like that movie.
I gotta say, I've only seen this movie like twice. Right? The old one. And, I mean, I wasn't, like, blown away by it.
I like Swayze's death scene in the end, though. Oh, sorry, spoiler.
That's the one part you saw.
Are we gonna allow Swayze to die in this one, too?
But, hey, it's just like, the best part of the Titanic is when Leo drowns. So, So that's the part I've seen over and over again. So sorry,
right.
What were you saying?
And MythBusters actually did you see the MythBusters episode where they did that? Yeah, that's how it would have went down.
I would have killed him too. So,
so okay, I have one more to discuss with you guys. Are we serious?
So
this one's coming out in January too. Because we've been talking about this guy for a while. I think I talked about him last week, and
I don't know
we
if
talked
I like
about
this
him,
build-up.
and we talked about him the week before. Jeremy Renner is playing Hansel for Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. Did you know about that one?
How old are they supposed to be?
Well, obviously
Adults,
old. Yeah. So I'm not.
Like after they grow up, like 20 years after the events in the cabin, you catch up with them and they're fucking witch hunters.
Yeah, pretty much. In this dark spin on the fairy tale, siblings Hansel and Gretel are a formidable team of bounty hunters who track and kill witches all over the world.
Wait. A dark and
Sounds
twisted.
badass, actually.
You know, and Gemma Atherton. Who was Prince of Persia, Quantum of Solace, Clash of the Titans. She's been in a few of these kind of like action movies, just out there.
Well, here, hold on. My
she's
question
got
is,
another one, too.
Dark and Twisted. Have anybody read the original tale? How can it get more twisted and dark than the original? Unless they're sacrificing virgins.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably just like a crazy sequel because that probably fucking did some real damage to him, back in the day.
Yeah, so I mean,
without having some real flashbacks. I mean, like Vietnam style, dude.
But this says it's also a comedy, so I'm not sure how. I mean, now John will know this movie. I mean, the guy that's the director of this one was also the writer of Dead Snow.
Seriously?
Yes, and director.
Wow. Wow.
So I mean, this could be a really great, funny, dark comedy, but the downgrade of this movie, it's got Famke Jensen in it.
Who?
Famke Jensen, whatever the hell her name is. I don't like her.
Interesting.
I don't like her.
Oh, no way. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't like her. So this one...
She was Jean Grey.
Yeah. This one can go really bad really easily. So, I mean, it could either be like Van Helsing with, what's his name? I can't think of it. Wolverine.
Interesting. Yeah, or be good or bad.
Or it could be totally Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Now, is this a nationwide release, a limited release, or straight to DVD?
I think this is a nationwide release. Hold on, let me see. It doesn't really say. It isn't said yet.
Because I have to admit, this for our local theaters have like a $5 Tuesday. For $5, I'd go see it, but there's no chance in hell I'm going to pay $20 to see this movie.
But dude, I like Jeremy Renner.
I'm with you on that.
I agree. I like Jeremy Renner. Still no way I'm paying $20 to see it.
No, I'm not going to pay $20.
Riddick, I might pay $20 for. This I won't.
He's got enough pull to where he can throw away a bunch of scripts and kind of start cherry picking at least a little bit. I mean, he's probably had a couple of phone calls since.
Yeah, I mean. It'll be interesting to find out how this one goes, but that was one that I kind of spotted out there, and I'm like, really?
Wow.
Hey, you probably read the script, thought it'd be fun, and then read funny, and there you go.
Yeah.
So Ryan, what's your movie for next week?
Oh, jeez.
Oh wow, didn't put too much thought into it actually.
Oh no, well, this might be a good.
So what's new?
God, the only one that I thought of was when you said. Or after the Warlock thing, and I can't do it to the people and pick something really crappy like that again.
Depends on your definition of crappy, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to be asked for the universe.
No, that's just cruel. Not 2 weeks in a row.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Not 2 weeks in a row. We can't do it.
You did make us watch Highway 66 or whatever it was. What was that movie you mentioned earlier?
Buffalo
66. Close enough.
It's an indie flick,
So what? So what are you gonna do?
All right, well, okay. Instead of sitting here and making everybody wait, I got to put some actual thought into it. I'll make sure to post it in the description of the video what we're doing.
Okay.
Because off the top of my head, it's just gonna be something bizarre or really shitty.
Okay, well, what would your bizarre movie be? I'm just curious.
Shoot, I can't even. See, that's the thing.
Well, obviously, it's not that.
So many freaking movies off of my head. I have no idea which one I want to do.
Just spit something out there.
Or you can name 3 and James and I get
No, the last time I spit something out there, it was retarded. I didn't want to pick it.
Okay, yeah. I'm good with that one. Name 3. And John and I will decide. Just spit out 3. Is that a cricket I hear?
You should see me at Blockbuster trying to pick a movie. It's 2 hours of this face.
I know. It's like I'm listening to Jiminy Cricket back there.
Or really bad bass line.
Yeah, that stopped. Thank God. Okay, guys. Yeah, we don't need this much dead air. Do we just want to have him post it up online?
Yeah. Right.
All right.
What'll happen is Ryan will get back to us. We'll post it in the description of the episode for this week, and it'll be on our Facebook page. If you type in Real Flix Reviews, that's Flix. In Facebook, YouTube, it should show up. And it's our Facebook page is Old Guy Tech. And so anything else? Ryan, James, anything to finish up with?
No, Mr. 3.
No, I'm good. Bad taste in my mouth from friggin' Warlock, but that's about it.
You sure that's from the movie?
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, for Real Flix Reviews, I gave the movie a 3. James and Ryan both gave it a 2.
Deuces.
And we'll see you next week.
This episode of Old Guy Tech TV is brought to you by Ward's Automotive, specializing in Banks Power and Pack Brake, servicing your car or truck and specializing in diesel engines. Over 30 years of service, located in Diamond Springs, California. Give them a call at 530-626-5588.